God's face. ARGs have been on the internet since the early days of the internet, with the first one widely being up for debate, but many believe it's the Blair Witch Project. This ARG takes place in the year 2014. The ARG starts on the board what we are very familiar with on 4chan, the /X board. It begins with a man saying that his friend needed to fix his laptop because he had infected it with a virus. On this same said laptop, there were strange codes of binary and more, and many strange images. These images his friend sent him piece by piece. When pieced together, they made this image. An image that apparently was the face of God himself. Now it's important to note that this ARG has two pieces of lost media. I'll be covering both, but I'm going to focus on the image more than the stream. The ARG ended with a live stream. A live stream on Twitch that was said to have paranormal things happen during it. The stream ended with a chair being thrown at the camera, and the stream ending not long after that. Now, I had mentioned another lost media from this ARG, that being the original unedited image of God's face. Now, there is a similar image that seems to be the original God face, but it's not. The creator has said that he used two images for the face, a top and a bottom. There is one image that we have that seems to be the bottom, if you look at the mouse, but the top image is lost. It was confirmed in a video about the whole ARG that the creator is trying to find the image, but has had no success up to this point. Original Jeff the Killer image. Creepypastas are truly a form of art. I'm not ashamed to say it. Creepypastas are a very important part of early internet culture. This piece of lost media is one of the most infamous pieces on the whole internet, as Jeff the Killer is an essential part of creepypastas. The specific part of this creepypasta that is lost is the original Jeff the Killer image. Now there are many supposed origins of this photo, one being an overweight girl that stems from 4chan, to old Japanese internet forums. That's where this image comes from. There are two photos that look very similar to the pose of Jeff the Killer. One of the leads is a Natachi image. As you can see, she's wearing a white sweater and is also in a very similar pose to the original Jeff the Killer image. The second image is this image. I couldn't find anything on who the lady is in the image, but as you can see, there's a similar smile and a similar background to Jeff the Killer. In my honest opinion, this looks like it's Photoshop, as all the details are very convenient to be the original image. And I'm correct, because this image has been proven to be false. This piece of lost media is so infamous that Mutahar from Some Ordinary Gamer has put a bounty on the original Jeff the Killer image. There is also the image of the girl that I had said earlier, but that has been debunked for years and years. Eric Harris Doom Wads. Columbine is a tragedy that still affects the victims' families and even the world today. Eric Harris, one of the shooters, and his friend Dylan were two high school students going to Columbine. In school, they were bullied for being the weird kids, as they were into new stuff like computers and more. Keep in mind that this is around 1996 to 1999. Due to this, the shooters were outraged and may have been depressed due to this. Eric was into Doom at this time. To be specific, Doom 2. He loved Doom so much that he made his own maps. He made many maps for Doom, around 20 to be specific. Due to the fact that these were made in around 1997, most of them were not archived, or were not archived properly. Some maps have been found. Around 7 of those maps have been found, leaving 13 to be lost. And not to mention the infamous WAD. Before the shooting, the boys made tapes and documented stuff about the shooting. It's alleged that Eric made a map of Columbine, as it was mentioned in the diaries by the boys. These maps were named realdoom.wad and uaclabs.wad. We know about these WADs due to a line in an 11,000 page report about the shooting from a sheriff's office. In page 7043, it says, "He had designed a level in Doom that was Columbine High School." This led people to believe that the boys had practiced the shootings in the game ahead of the shooting. This piece of lost media is one of the most disturbing I've ever had the displeasure to come across. And in my honest opinion, I hope this is never found. Christine Chubbuck. Christine Chubbuck was a newswoman that took her life on air. Before all this, Christine was born in 1944 in East Cleveland, Ohio. She was the sister of two brothers, Greg and Tim Chubbuck. Her battles with loneliness and being rejected were apparent in her early years, as she formed a club of other rejected girls that never had dates on Saturday nights. She attended Miami University and got a degree in theater arts. She then attended 2 more universities and finally got a broadcasting degree at the University of Boston. It's important to note that she had dated a man in her early 20s. That man was in his 30s. Due to Chubbuck being 21, her father never approved of the relationship, and after this man, she never dated again. She got a job at WXLT news station, but never said that she had depression, as her mother feared that she would lose her job if she were told that. On the morning of July 15, 1974, she walked into the studio happy. Then she got ready for the news. and went on to say 3 national stories and a shooting that had happened at a local restaurant, Beef and Bottle. While saying this story, the film reel was jammed and the story wouldn't run. She shrugged it off. What she did next was really strange.
In keeping with the WXLT practice of presenting the most immediate and complete reports of local blood and guts news, TV40 presents what is believed to be a television first. In living color, exclusive coverage of an attempted suicide.
After she said this, she drew a .38 revolver and shot herself, ending her life live on air. The tape immediately stopped, the broadcast was cut to black, and a movie ran. The actual video of Christine's suicide was never released to the public, and is in the hands of a law firm. Though the audio was found, it doesn't matter if it's found, it's a piece of lost media that I think should never be brought to light, just like the Doom Wads. Dexter Hit List. Dexter is a show that I have on my top 5 shows list of all time. This piece of Dexter Lost Media was a website that was similar to Walt's Wisdom and Warning. The website basically had you put in friends' information, a photo, and there would be a video of them being the copycat killer from season 2. The website was made just to have fun with your friends, and the website was taken down years after the season ended. The webpage itself is accessible in the Internet Archive with some pictures of the website, but other than these, we don't have anything else on this interesting lost website of a beloved show. Packy. This Pac-Man ripoff was made in the early 2000s by game company Phoenix Games, which was based in Europe. The game isn't actually a piece of lost media, rather it's a piece of unconfirmed lost media, basically meaning that it was a hoax. And it still gets attention due to being on lists for the worst video game box art of all time. Not much was known about the game other than the gameplay being similar to Pac-Man, and that's basically it. A short tier due to the fact there isn't a lot about Packy, but it's still an interesting piece of fake media. Mexia Supermarket. Everyone knows the grocery stores. The place where your mom would talk to her friends for an entire day in a random freezer aisle. But this specific grocery store is infamous for another reason. The Mexia Supermarket opened in Fort Worth, Texas back in 1984. The supermarket was given around a $900,000 loan and was supposed to be paid back in the span of 15 years. By the time 15 years rolled around, it's 1999. The money wasn't there, so they shut the store down. But here's the weird part. Normally when grocery stores shut down, they have a team come in and clear out the store of all products. But Mexia didn't do this. They simply locked the doors, turned off the electricity, and closed down forever. People started reporting strange odor near the store, so a hazmat team was called in, and what they saw was disturbing. Rotten food everywhere. Flies were all in the store and covered windows. They had videotaped the store, a place stuck in time from July. But now all the food was rotten. The city called it a health hazard and started a cleanup. The cleanup took around 7 days, and was a bad one at that. They discovered the store in November, got all the food out on the 23rd, and was done right before December on the 30th. A store was opened there years later, but people still reported a bad odor, so they shut it down. The footage I mentioned earlier was shown in a Life After Humans episode, but since then has never seen the light of day. This piece of lost media is disgusting, and the idea of it makes it sick, but if it's found, it's a great find for fans of biohazard disasters. Daft Punk Lost Performance. Daft Punk is a duo that I have loved for years. In 1997, the duo released their first studio album under the Daft Punk name, Homework, and they went around France playing this album. On their second tour, they played at Club Birmingham, where the duo played their songs, and they left a whole fiasco. Normally, they recorded performances, but this recording is lost to the public. Only a 25-second clip is made available. Outside of this, there is no other recording. Besides some pictures, these are the only known documentation of this performance, making this a very infamous lost performance. Incredibles 2 Cast Apology. This piece of lost media is one that I've actually personally seen. So back in 2018, The Incredibles 2 released to mixed reviews. I didn't think it was a bad movie at the time, but rewatching it, it was pretty bad. But the movie took forever to get out. Due to this, the cast in the movie gave an apology before the film to thank fans for sticking with them for the delay of the movie. Now you may be asking, Wolf, wouldn't the apology be on the extras on Disney Plus or DVDs? Well, no, they aren't. This was actually a cinema-specific thing. We only have 1 second of footage of this apology. That being from a video of a mother when she took her kids to see the movie. Other than this, no copies of the apology are made public or even found.